Rock and roll superstars. Hello, it's me, Lewy Glass, here for Hard.CURRENCY with Mrat from Thantu, Thikha, Sin City, and the Uzis Akimbo.
Yep.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, it's all correct.
Yeah, brilliant. All right, the young lord who's almost single-handedly brought back the Canberra hardcore scene. You've been doing a lot of fucking cool shit. What can you tell me about putting on some house shows in Canberra?
I think Canberra sort of has a history of putting on mad hardcore like shows in houses. I'm inspired by the sort of history Canberra has with house shows. Like, you know, spanning back 10, even 20 years, we've had house shows like always going on, and like had a really strong DIY scene. Like even like the biggest hardcore bands have played in some guy's garage. Like Zaboba played at Crossroads House in like, I don't know, 2014 or whatever. Maybe the first time they came through. I don't know when that was. Probably wasn't live, but all goods.
Yeah, word. Is Crossroads House, is that related to like Lackluster or?
It's down the road from Lackluster actually. So it's like on the same street. The crew who run it are pretty fucking awesome. Roxley's a legend. But it's like, yeah, they have some sort of connectedness, but like not the same crews that run it. Yeah.
I remember hearing stories about, I think, Full of Hell might have played the Lackluster House.
I think the first time was Lackluster, and maybe the second time they did Crossroads. But I'm not too sure. But yeah, first time definitely at Lackluster.
Yeah, hectic. And there was like a connection with Lackluster through like school and teaching and things like that. Is that correct?
So Leek Spin, who runs Lackluster, is my OG. He was my science teacher in year 7, and he put me onto bands like Foundation and Magnitude and stuff. So I was like, he's the reason I'm straight edge. He's the reason I listen to hardcore, why I do hardcore. Like him doing house shows when he was young is like why I do everything as well. So it's like, yeah. And he's also the reason I'm doing a teaching degree.
That's fucking so sick to me. I reckon that's awesome. So he's obviously done all that stuff himself, and he's inspired like a whole new generation to do the same thing in multiple walks of life, which is fucking sick. These shows, the energy that comes with these shows, all the videos that I'm seeing is like crazy, man. How does it make you feel when you see that happen?
Makes me feel pretty fucking proud. Like, for a while, I feel like people were like, oh, Canberra's, you know, the greatest city in the world. Like, people were saying that, but it wasn't really true. And then I feel like through collective effort and like passion, it just sort of like, yeah, that's like fucking sick. You know, it's like, it's actually sort of, it's the greatest fucking city in the world. You know, it's just so beautiful, and like the community we've sort of cultivated is, you know, it's insane, so diverse and really young, and like there's so many old people who support what we do as well. So yeah, it's awesome. That's killer.
I don't know if I agree that Canberra's the best city in the world, but I think what you're doing is pretty fucking sick.
Agree to disagree, but it's up there. It's up there.
I wanted to ask about Thantu Thikha, the name. What's the meaning of the name or the origin behind the name? It's a unique name, and I'm not sure if I've ever asked you what it means.
So I'm Buddhist, and it comes from esoteric, like Rakhine Buddhism. Like, so Rakhine is the state in Burma, which I'm from, and Thantu Thikha is basically a sort of god or deity. And the story is, when the Buddha was still like a lay person, just a normal person, he was meditating in the forest and, you know, trying to become enlightened. And this like deity came to him and played him 3 songs. So the first one was too quiet and you couldn't hear anything. The second song was too loud and too, you know, harsh and abrasive, and it didn't sound nice. The third song was right in the middle, and that's supposedly where we get the middle path from. And that is the path to enlightenment in Buddhism. And that god's name was Thantu Thikha.
pretty cool show coming up. First time in Melbourne.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty fucking sick. Thanks to Candace for having us on that. Beast Mode. With Pain of Truth, Fuse from Singapore, AWOL and Tarnished.
Hectic. Yeah, it's gonna be a killer first time in Melbourne. What else is happening in the Thantu camp? You got some new music happening?
Yeah. We just recorded a 4-track with Cal from The Crooks, and he's just mixing it now. Yeah, it's gonna be sick. I think I'm not sure who we're putting it out through yet. It might be split, might not, but we'll see. Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. I'm stoked to hear that. What sort of styles, influences have you had for the new Thantu songs?
I don't know if there's any specific bands, but like bands that use panic chords. So like, I've been listening to a lot of the older Zabulba stuff. That's
two completely opposite things. Just
yeah,
bands that use panic chords, Zabulba.
Yeah, that as well. But a few people have said we sound a bit like Regression from I think Belgium.
Yeah, sick.
like H8000 sound, and I love that style.
Yeah.
Me and my homies are starting a new band that sounds all like that. Straight Edge Holy War.
Shout out. You saying H8000 is like somebody calling you Mrat?
Yeah. Yeah, we might have to cut this bit.
I love it. All right, that's awesome. I'm trying to think of something else I wanted to ask you. You've got a fucking pretty crazy mosh style, right?
Thank you.
One of the best in the country at the moment, I might say. Where do you get your inspiration from in the mosh pit?
Japanese Hardcore Mosh Volume 2.
The blueprint, 100%. Where do you practice moshing?
Just around the house and like outside. I fucked up our oven a bit. Like there's like this bit at the bottom, and I kicked it one time, and it just permanently like detached, and I fucked up a lot of my hands and shit just from like moshing and hitting like tables and stuff. I'd be like doing the dishes, and I'll just stop to mosh, and my parents will get pissed because like, oh, you haven't done the dishes yet, because I'll just be standing there for an hour just moshing. Like yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not diagnosed with ADHD, but like I have something like that. I reckon when it comes to moshing, and just doing it in like random places.
Australian dollar, highly dedicated.
Yeah, shout out Dingus.
Shout out Dingus.
Oh, Gusso, sorry, Gusso, shout out Gusso.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. And I did want to ask, I've asked a couple of people recently, if anything comes to mind when I ask you your favourite hardcore releases in Australia this year. Put you on the spot.
That's a hard one. There's been so many really good ones. Probably everything that's coming out of Newcastle this year. Shout out SCT, Scorn, Feel the Pain, Cutthroat coming out soon. Maybe through a label that I might be starting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is this a HARD.CURRENCY exclusive?
Could be. Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Just hardcore label. Just through Uzi's Akimbo. We got some bands planned. Yeah. I think for me, like release-wise, I think I'm more looking forward to like things that will come out. Like I'm looking forward to seeing what Dance is going to look like from Sydney, and the Honey demo. Yeah, like honestly, everything that my mates are doing, Woo style, they're alright. All good.
Shout out.
Not shout out, but more like just a mention. Yeah, don't dead name Woo style. They're called Line of Fire now. Yeah.
Damn, I always fuck with the name Woo Style, but Pat, sorry brother, is what it is. You're in my line of fire now, motherfucker. Cook with that. Marty, write that down. Alright, Mrat, thanks brother.
Thank you.
You're a legend. Thanks, Tans. HARD.CURRENCY.